Have you ever wondered if traveling in your later years might actually do more harm than good? As we grow older, the idea of exploring new places can still stir excitement, sometimes even a deep sense of nostalgia. Many seniors dream of seeing the world after retirement. And why not? After all, haven't you earned it? But what many don't realize is that travel after age 65 comes with risks and hidden challenges that often remain unnoticed until it's too late. It's not about giving up on new experiences. It's about understanding what your body and mind can truly handle and what they may now quietly resist. In this video, we're going to explore 5 important reasons why traveling in old age may no longer be in your best interest. From hidden health risks to emotional and physical stressors, each point reveals something often overlooked, but deeply important. And if you're already feeling unsure about your next trip, these insights might explain exactly why. As we age, the idea of exploring new places still carries a sense of wonder and maybe even nostalgia. Many seniors dream of seeing the world after retirement, and that desire is perfectly natural. But while travel once felt like freedom, it now comes with a different set of rules, ones your body quietly writes for you. What many older adults don't realize is that travel after 65 brings risks and challenges that often go unnoticed until it's too late. This isn't about giving up joy or adventure. It's about knowing your limits and recognizing that some of the things you once enjoyed might now require a different approach. In today's video, we'll explore 5 important reasons why traveling in old age may not be in your best interest. From hidden health threats to emotional stressors, these are things that are often overlooked, but deeply important to understand. And if you've been feeling unsure about that upcoming trip, these insights may help you understand why. Stay with us until the end. We'll not only explain the risks, but also share ways to find comfort, joy, and fulfillment in this stage of life without leaving home. 1. Weakened immunity and exposure to unfamiliar germs. One of the biggest health risks for older travelers is how vulnerable the immune system becomes to unfamiliar environments. You might feel stable in your day-to-day life, but the moment you step into an airport, hotel, or crowded tourist area, you're exposed to a mix of viruses, bacteria, and fungi that your body hasn't encountered in years, if ever. Unlike your younger years, your immune system may no longer bounce back easily. A simple cold can escalate into bronchitis or pneumonia. A mild stomach bug can turn into dehydration and hospitalization. Take George, 81, who took a cruise with his daughter. What began as a sore throat turned into a chest infection, worsened by the ship's recycled air and buffet-style dining. He ended up being airlifted from a port hospital, spending the rest of the trip and several weeks after trying to recover. It's not just airborne germs. Altitude changes, sleep disruption, unfamiliar food, and different water sources all challenge your body. Your skin, digestion, and sinuses are more sensitive now. And worst of all, symptoms often don't show up right away, meaning by the time you realize something's wrong, you're far from home and far from your trusted medical care. This doesn't mean you need to fear every environment, but it does mean recognizing that what's a minor inconvenience for someone younger may be a serious threat for you, especially if you're already managing chronic conditions or taking medications that weaken immunity. Staying home doesn't mean giving up. It means having control over your air, your food, your rest, and your routine. And that kind of control is essential in protecting your health, now more than ever. Travel used to be about discovery, but sometimes the greatest discovery is learning what your body needs and choosing to honor that. 2. Long travel increases the risk of blood clots and circulatory strain. What many seniors don't realize until it's too late is just how dangerous prolonged sitting can be, especially during long flights or road trips. When you're younger, you can sit cramped in a seat for hours, maybe stretch a little, and move on. But after 70, your circulation changes. Blood moves more slowly, veins lose flexibility, and the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, dangerous clots in the legs, increases significantly when you remain still too long. These clots can travel to the lungs and cause life-threatening complications. Harold, 78, took a 6-hour flight to attend his grandson's graduation. He walked the aisles a few times, stayed hydrated, and even wore compression socks. But 2 days later, he experienced chest pain and shortness of breath. A clot had formed during the flight and traveled to his lungs. Thankfully, doctors acted in time, but his joyful visit turned into a medical crisis. Here's the hard truth. Even doing nothing, just sitting, can put your life at risk. And if you already have stiffness or mobility issues, it becomes even harder to move around as needed. Add dehydration, air pressure changes, and the stress of travel itself, and you've got a perfect storm. Even road trips are risky, especially when breaks are infrequent and opportunities to stretch are limited. You may not notice the signs right away. Swollen ankles, aching calves, and a subtle tightness in your chest can sneak up on you. And by the time you realize something's wrong, you're far from your doctor, your medical history, and your comfort zone. This risk multiplies quickly. What starts as a simple trip can lead to complications that impact your independence for weeks or even months. Travel isn't the enemy, but ignoring your body's new limits is. When your blood doesn't move well, neither can you, at least not for long. So before planning your next journey, think not just about the route you'll take, but the one your blood will be forced to take while you remain still. Because sometimes staying grounded isn't a limitation, it's a life-saving decision. If you're still watching and finding this video helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another video. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content to inform and inspire you. 3. Disrupted medication and medical support. One of the most silent but serious challenges of travel in older age is how easily it disrupts your medication routine. At home, your pill schedule may feel effortless, but throw in a few time zone changes, late dinners, or a forgotten pill organizer, and things unravel fast. Even something as simple as taking heart medication a few hours late or missing a dose of a blood thinner can cause a chain reaction your body isn't prepared for. Take Gerald, 76. He traveled to a different state to visit family. On the second day, his meals were delayed, his schedule shifted, and he forgot to take his diabetes medication until late in the evening. That one slip caused dizziness, fatigue, and confusion. Symptoms that could have easily been mistaken for something much worse. That's part of the danger. When your health shifts unexpectedly while traveling, it's harder to know what's a minor issue and what's a real emergency. And then there's access. At home, you know exactly who to call. Your doctor knows your history, your prescriptions, your allergies. But on the road, you're often relying on urgent care, over-the-counter guesses, or unfamiliar healthcare systems. Even with good insurance, nothing replaces the peace of being cared for by someone who knows you. There's also the risk of running out of medication, losing it in transit, or realizing your prescription isn't available in another country or even another state. For those managing conditions like high blood pressure, thyroid issues, irregular heart rhythms, or insulin-dependent diabetes, a single missed dose can create a serious setback. Your medication routine isn't just a habit, it's a life-saving structure. And when travel disrupts that structure, your body pays the price. The freedom to travel should never come at the cost of your health's foundation. Before you book that ticket, ask yourself honestly, are you ready to manage your health without the safety net you have at home? Because after 70, even a few disrupted days can have lasting consequences, not because you're weak, but because your health is too valuable to gamble. And protecting it isn't fear, it's wisdom. In retirement, the idea of exploring new places still carries a certain magic, a sense of freedom, adventure, and maybe even a reward for all the years of hard work. But as we age, the rules quietly change. What once felt liberating might now pose serious risks to your health, your emotional stability, and your overall well-being. In today's video, we'll explore 5 reasons why travel after 70 might not be the wise choice it once was. These insights aren't meant to discourage you. They're here to inform, protect, and empower you. Because sometimes the greatest journey we can take is inward, toward greater awareness of what our body and mind truly need. 1. Weakened immunity and unfamiliar germs. As we age, our immune systems naturally become less resilient. A crowded airport, hotel lobby, or cruise ship exposes you to viruses and bacteria your body may no longer be equipped to fight. Take George, 81, who joined a cruise with his daughter. What started as a sore throat turned into pneumonia, complicated by recycled air, unfamiliar food, and days without proper rest. He spent more time in a hospital room than enjoying the sea. New environments challenge your body in subtle ways. Air pressure changes, jet lag, dietary changes, and new allergens. These can quickly overwhelm even a healthy senior, especially those with pre-existing conditions. Staying home doesn't mean you're giving up joy. It means you're choosing control over your rest, your food, your air, your rhythm. And that choice can protect your health more than any travel precaution. 2. Long travel increases circulatory risks. Long flights or road trips often mean sitting for hours, something your body may no longer tolerate safely. After 70, blood circulation slows and veins lose flexibility. The risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, dangerous blood clots, rises dramatically. These clots can travel to the lungs and become life-threatening. Harold, 78, flew 6 hours to visit family. Despite using compression socks and walking the aisle, he developed a blood clot that led to a pulmonary embolism 2 days later. Even road trips carry risk when brakes are missed or cramped. Seating prevents adequate movement. When your blood doesn't move, neither can you, at least not for long. What seems like a simple trip can lead to weeks or months of recovery. Travel isn't the enemy, but ignoring your body's new limits is. So before booking a trip, ask yourself, is your blood prepared for the journey, even if you're just sitting still? If you're still with me and finding this video helpful, comment number 2 below so I know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell to stay updated on every video we share. 3rd, disrupted medications and medical support routine is essential in later life, especially when it comes to medications. Travel often disrupts everything: sleep, meals, and timing. You might forget a dose, take it late, or lose your medication entirely. Gerald, 76, visited family in another state. A late dinner and a changed evening routine caused him to miss his diabetes medication. By nightfall, he was dizzy, confused, and fatigued. One simple oversight created a ripple effect that could have turned into an emergency. At home, if something feels wrong, you call your doctor, someone who knows your history and can act fast. On the road, you're at the mercy of unfamiliar clinics, language barriers, and care providers who don't know your baseline. Even the best travel insurance can't replace your trusted pharmacist or the nurse who knows how your body reacts. If you live with conditions like high blood pressure, thyroid issues, or diabetes, missing even one dose can be dangerous. Travel freedom should never come at the cost of health stability. Before packing your bags, ask yourself, can you manage your health confidently without your support system? Respecting your health isn't weakness, it's wisdom. 4. Emergency care becomes harder and riskier. In your younger years, taking a few risks felt adventurous. But after 70, even minor health changes can escalate fast. And when they happen far from home, they're often complicated by confusion, delays, or miscommunication. Imagine collapsing in a hotel lobby or feeling chest pain on a tour bus. Who will speak for you if you're unconscious? Will local medical staff know your history, medications, allergies, or even your language? Ruth, 83, fell on a cobblestone street during a European river cruise. She fractured her hip. The hospital was over an hour away, and once there, staff spoke limited English. Her daughter back home couldn't get updates. What would have been a routine procedure at home turned into a confusing, painful ordeal. Even in well-equipped hospitals, care varies. Waiting times, paperwork, and treatment styles may not align with what you're used to. And the little things matter. The nurse who checks in with compassion, your own bed, your trusted doctor. These are not luxuries. They're part of healing. Emergencies in older adults are often quiet at first. Dizziness, fatigue, shortness of breath, confusion. When you're in unfamiliar surroundings, those early signs are easy to miss. And by the time someone notices, it might already be too late. Ask yourself, is it worth being thousands of miles from the people and systems who know your body best? No destination is worth being medically alone. Still watching? Please comment number 4 to let me know you're with us, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. 5. Emotional exhaustion and the loss of grounding. Travel is often romanticized as a doorway to joy and freedom. But for many seniors, the emotional toll is rarely discussed. New places can be overstimulating. They disrupt your internal rhythm, challenge your sleep, and remove the comforting cues that help you feel safe and oriented. Walter, 79, finally visited the national park of his dreams. But by day 3, he was irritable, tired, and overwhelmed. He missed his morning walk. The hotel bed felt strange. He couldn't find food that agreed with him. When his daughter asked if he was enjoying himself, he nodded. But inside, he was counting the days until he could go home. It wasn't the scenery that drained him. It was the loss of familiarity, of comfort, of control. We underestimate how much peace comes from simple routines. Your favorite chair, your morning coffee, the feel of your own bathroom light switch. These aren't small things. They are anchors. And when we take them away, especially in our later years, it can create confusion, anxiety, or even low-grade depression. Add to that the emotional strain of keeping up with younger travel companions, and it's easy to see why many seniors return home more exhausted than fulfilled. This doesn't mean you're fragile. It means you're wise. You've earned the right to choose peace over pressure, familiarity over novelty, stillness over stress. The richness of life isn't always found in distant cities. Sometimes it's in the garden you've tended, the phone call with an old friend, the recipe you've made 1,000 times. Staying home doesn't mean you've stopped living. It means you're listening to your body. and honoring its wisdom. Final thoughts: if you're still here, it means you care deeply about your health and peace of mind, and that alone puts you ahead of the curve. Travel can be beautiful, but after 70, the rules change. Today we talked about 5 reasons to approach travel with caution: a weakened immune system, dangerous blood circulation issues, disruption to your medication and care, difficulty accessing quality emergency help, and the emotional cost of leaving behind what grounds you. These aren't just warnings. They're realities, grounded in lived experience and the kind of wisdom only time can give. So if today's video made you pause or feel seen, take a moment to reflect. What do you really need right now? Where do you feel most safe, most whole, most alive? Because aging isn't about giving up exploration. It's about choosing when and how to protect what matters most. Sometimes saying no to movement is actually saying yes to peace. You've earned the right to prioritize comfort over chaos. And that is a kind of freedom no airplane can offer. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell us one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts matter to us. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Stick around until the end, because we won't just talk about the risks. We'll help you reframe how to seek joy, comfort, and fulfillment in this beautiful stage of life without ever needing to pack a bag or board a plane. 1. Weakened immunity and exposure to unfamiliar germs. One of the most overlooked dangers of travel in old age is how vulnerable the immune system becomes to unfamiliar environments. While you may feel fine in your daily routine, stepping into an airport, hotel, or crowded tourist area exposes your body to a new mix and host of viruses, bacteria, and fungi, some of which it hasn't encountered in decades, if ever. When you're younger, your immune system can bounce back quickly. But after 65, even a mild cold can spiral into something more serious, like bronchitis or pneumonia. A minor stomach bug, it could land you in the hospital. Take George, age 81, who went on a cruise to celebrate his daughter's birthday. By day 3, he developed a sore throat. Seemed harmless, right? But between the recycled air on the ship, constant air conditioning, and buffet-style dining, that sore throat turned into a chest infection. He was airlifted from a port hospital and spent the rest of the trip and the following weeks just trying to recover. It's not just about airborne germs. Changes in altitude, disrupted sleep, different water, and unfamiliar food all challenge your immune defenses. Your skin, your digestive system, and even your nasal passages become more sensitive with age. What used to be a minor inconvenience can now become a major setback. And here's the real danger. Symptoms often don't show up right away. By the time you feel sick, you're far from home, without your regular doctor, your familiar routine, or the energy to advocate for yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you should live in fear or avoid every new environment. It means being realistic about what a small risk means for someone whose immune system isn't what it used to be, especially if you're managing chronic illnesses or taking medications that suppress your body's natural defenses. Remember, staying home doesn't mean staying isolated. It means you're in control of your air, your food, your rest, your medications, and your daily rhythm. And in this stage of life, where energy is precious, protecting your health is not a limitation. It's an act of wisdom. Travel used to be about discovery, but now, the greatest discovery might be learning what your body needs and choosing to honor that fully. 2. Long travel increases the risk of blood clots and circulatory strain. One of the biggest health risks that seniors often overlook is the danger of sitting still for too long, especially during flights or long car rides. When you're young, cramped airplane seats or long drives might just give you a sore back. But after 70, your circulatory system simply doesn't work the same way. Blood moves more slowly, veins lose elasticity, and the risk of deep vein thrombosis, dangerous blood clots in the legs, rises significantly when you're immobile for extended periods. These clots can break off and travel to the lungs, causing a potentially fatal pulmonary embolism. Consider Harold, 78. He took a 6-hour flight to attend his grandson's graduation. He walked the aisles, drank water, and even wore compression socks. He thought he was doing everything right. But 2 days after landing, he felt chest pain and struggled to breathe. Doctors diagnosed a clot that had formed during the flight and moved to his lungs. Thankfully, they caught it in time. But his joyful visit quickly turned into a medical emergency. The irony? The very act of doing nothing, just sitting, can quietly and seriously threaten your health. For seniors who already struggle with mobility or stiffness, it's even harder to get up and move around regularly. Add in dehydration, fluctuating air pressure, and the natural anxiety that comes with travel, and you've got the perfect storm for circulatory issues. Even road trips aren't risk-free. Hours in the car with limited breaks and few chances to stretch carry the same danger. Symptoms may start small: swollen ankles, aching calves, or tightness in the chest, but they can escalate quickly. And by the time you realize something's wrong, you're far from your regular doctor, your medical records, and the familiarity of home. Circulation problems in older age require intentional management, not just the occasional leg stretch. If you have a history of heart issues, high blood pressure, diabetes, or any past surgeries, these risks increase even more.